Throughout Abraham Verghese's novel Cutting for Stone, a persistent theme of the relationship between belonging and foreignness, especially in the lives of the main characters, is overtly extant. The book analyzes the complex interactions between these two feelings, how each can be found through or in spite of the other, what can cause either feeling to be diffused, and how, once lost, the feeling of belonging can be restored. Hema and Ghosh share a cultural link, both being from the same area of India and completing their residencies at the same hospital, but are still foreign to Ethiopia. They form their own sense of belonging by interacting with each other, creating an environment both immersed in and isolated from their adopted culture. Their foreignness was a foundation for their eventual sense of family and belonging. Marion and Shiva are probably the most prominent example of this theme, sharing a physical link at birth and a mental and spiritual link afterwards. They should, by all rights, feel like they belong. Their similarities alone should help create a sense of belonging, and the fact that they both share bonds of family is enough to push it over the edge. However, after the betrayal of Marion by Shiva, there was a sense of foreignness, a sense of not knowing who each other were. Their sense of belonging with each other was only restored due to the imprisonment of Ghosh, who rose like Lazarus from the political imprisonment he underwent. A shared sense of loss and pain brought them empathy, and brought them, at least temporarily, back together. When Marion was forced to leave his country, fleeing to America, he instantly felt foreign. His first experiences at Our Lady of Perpetual Succor brought him reminders of the life he left behind. Indian doctors abound, and the hospital served the poor. The sport of choice was cricket. And on death's door, Marion said, "If I must die and cannot die at Missing, I want to die here at Our Lady."
Jeanette, on the other hand, never truly felt a sense of belonging. She fled from Ethiopia to visit Eritrea and returned with stories, clothes, and phrases previously unheard in the halls of Missing. The hardship she experienced in her youth made her stick out everywhere and fit in nowhere. Constantly betraying and being betrayed eventually drove her to murdering her lover whilst in America, causing her to lose custody of her child and be incarcerated. Her life brought her from somewhere she could easily have found belonging, with Marion, who was obviously enamored with her, to somewhere that no one can truly belong, the American penitentiary system. The lesson the author is trying to convey is that sometimes when one looks too hard for belonging elsewhere, one forgets where one truly belongs.
Thomas Stone is the embodiment of the cliché, home is where the heart is. He never had somewhere he could consider home until he went to the sanatorium, where his mother, and his eventual guardian Dr. Ross, resided. He grew under the medical instruction of the good doctor, eventually finding a new home, the operating theater. He felt the strongest sense of belonging in Operating Theater 3, with Sister Mary Joseph Praise at his side, and when that was shattered he was forced to flee his feelings of pain, and the bitter sense of foreignness returned. He again found his sense of belonging in Boston General, as a leader in the field of liver transplants and surgery. Utilizing several variations on the theme of belonging and foreignness, Cutting for Stone analyzes the differences in the way that each of the main characters responds to trauma, and creates a well-interwoven tale of complex three-dimensional characters, leaving lasting emotional and intellectual impacts on readers and instilling a true sense of empathy.